Wind River with your boy Renner.
Yeah. Directorial debut from Taylor Sheridan, as I mentioned, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week. And he, of course, wrote Sicario and Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars last year. So Taylor Sheridan's kind of been a rising star in Hollywood, to say the least. And his third film he's been, a part of, but his first one that he directed, Wind River, just really expanded. Still not even out that much. It was only like 40-something theaters as of this weekend, but I was able to catch it. And
Nice.
It stars Jeremy Renner as a hunter of predators like wolves and mountain lions out in rural Wyoming, close to the Indian Native American reservation. And Elizabeth Olsen, who's the other lead, comes in as a FBI officer and regarding a murder of a Native American woman. And the whole film is really about violence against women on the res. And it's a really beautifully shot movie, as you can imagine, in the Wyoming tundra. A lot of beautiful vistas and a lot of cool, shots on snowmobiles, and even the transportation looks cool. But overall, yeah, really moving. John Bernthal comes up in one scene, really powerful, important scene to the movie. And it's tough to really, expound upon it without really spoiling it because it's such a character-driven film. But overall, I think it's definitely one of the top movies I've seen this year, and really powerful movie with a good message. And of course, great performances. So definitely check that out if you get a chance, as it expands to more theaters.
You said it was beautifully shot, and when I think about Sheridan, Hell or High Water and Sicario both stand out to me as just like really amazingly aesthetically pleasing films to watch, and like with a very unique eye, almost kind of like Rian Johnson in a way. And if you had to think about this is a really hard question because it's such a broad one, but if you had to think about like cinematography and like the directors that you like think of when you think of current best cinematographers, who is he up there for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure who he worked with for cinematography offhand, but yeah, like you think of like guys like Roger Deakins and the people that I've worked with, like Inarritu especially, I think is towards the top right now. Tarantino always has an original look to everything he makes. Alfonso Cuarón is a good one. Rian Johnson, as you said. But yeah, Sheridan looks like he wants to continue to direct. It's funny, he actually used to be an actor. He was on Sons of Anarchy, most notably.
Really? Who was he?
I'm not sure. He was a dude. I mean, you can look him up. He has a pretty distinct face, but he's kind of talked about how we talked about Wind River because it's about a white lead on a working with Native Americans on the Indian reservation. People might try and criticize them, for a white savior narrative. We've seen this before, terrible trope in Western filmmaking, right?
Right.
But when asked about that, he said that he didn't think he could make the movie any other way because, as a white man who was actually from Wyoming and has lived close to a reservation, the only perspective he thought he could make a movie about was that of the white man. So he thought he was being most respectful and most tasteful by basing it around a white guy's experience. Also, there's a good New York Times. Yeah, absolutely. And there's a good New York Times profile about how he was really tasteful in how he cast the film, Native American roles in the past. Sometimes they would just cast a guy to be a Native American if they looked like him. Sometimes they might be Filipino. But he said he wanted to make sure they weren't just Native Americans or weren't just had the appearance, but also had like the spirit and the culture. He kind of goes into that. And as a guy who's lived close to a reservation, it really looks like he's thought a lot about the movie that he made. And it's great that the movie works so well. So definitely recommend it. If nothing for else, the cinematography is definitely unique and worth checking out.
It's interesting because we're 2/3 of the way through the year at the end of this month, and you're starting to see movies that are definitely going to get a lot of Oscar buzz. I wouldn't be surprised if this one got a little bit of Oscar buzz, but the other one that's out right now is Good Time, right? It has the Robert Pattinson revival, back in the game, baby. So there's a lot of really good like smaller movies coming out right now, which with limited releases, things like that. So definitely find a theater that you can go see these movies and take people that enjoy good movies.